Hi, my name is Clara Bartel, and I'm going to give a presentation on uh, policy formation in childcare policy, specifically the Child Care and Development Block Grant, or CCDBG. This program is the central federal program for low-income working families and provides childcare. Um, and it is currently at the heart of the debate over affordable and accessible childcare in the US. So to get right into it, let's go to the status quo. In the year 2025, this year, the budget is $8.75 billion, which is a flat from last year's budget in 2024. There was a increase in federal income budget from the COVID era uh, relief funds that ended in last September 2024. And that has left a gap, a cliff, um, uh, so said, in in funding. Um, and so with that, there has also been important changes that have happened this last year, like capping family income co-payment at 7%, and providers paying providers based on attendance instead of enrollment. Um, so that affects providers' funding as well. But the in uh, in inflation has not kept up since the budget has stayed the same. And so the status quo provides stability, yet inflation is just not. Uh, inflation is pressuring, and there are gaps in providers. So for the um, first incentive is increase in funding, one to $2 billion. So like an incremental funding boost. This wouldn't be a sweeping overhaul. This would be as if like Congress has already passed legislation like this. So it would be feasible, politically feasible, and without cutting children off the rolls. And so this would provide states with the resources that they need. Um, that would be the pro, and then the con would be that the budget and any kind of budgetary increase. So the second alternative is targeted contracting set aside. This would be to set aside 3 to 5% of the CCDBG funds for multi-year contracts with providers. This would target hard to reach areas like infant and toddler care, rural communities, and children with disabilities. And the pro is that it would stabilize the market in the places that need it the most. And the con is, of course, like the budget and the that it would limit parental choice because it would be only locked into specific areas and providers. And so the third alternative is co-payment elimination for the lowest income families. This would just be a overall elimination in co-payments altogether for the lowest income families with a federal state um, matching incentive. Um, so this would benefit the pros would be it would benefit um maternal uh workforce participation, and so it could have some real impacts on the labor market. And then the downside would be the costs, and states that seeing which states would be willing to participate. The fourth alternative is to pilot um, regulatory flexibility, um, and that would be uh, look like staffing ratios or micro center um, uh, models. This would be for the deregulation crowd, and could read in a innovation and collaboration as a pro. But there, of course, there is the risk of relaxing standards could harm quality um, if if not carefully monitored. And then um, taken all together, I think that these are all incredibly feasible, and the first three are resource driven. They expand affordability and supply, and um, can help the system function better. And four is rules driven. Um, so a blended package might be like um, one or three, or two and like a little bit of four, um, where they could have like a small pilot to kind of encompass affordability, supply, and innovation. Um, and then, so I do want to address the universal pre-K as a broader alternative, but I am not including this within my alternatives. This is because universal pre-K is tailored towards for 3 and 4 year olds, while CCDBG is for infant all the way up to 4 year olds. And so for this reason, I'm not having it as a substitute. It's rather like a complement to the alternatives. It is not an alternative to CCDBG. So in closing, um, there is trade-offs on affordability, supply, and quality. However, advocacy groups and uh, workforce um, and families, businesses are pushing for expansion, and there are some opponents that worry about costs and regulations, but by framing CCDBG's reforms as bipartisan, and I do believe that we could be responsive to both sides, because it does cross the aisle in these worries and these on all cases. And so I do believe that policymakers can use these alternatives to have a good path forward.